Hi everybody, it's time for your Farm and Ranch news. Well, when consumers debate their choices at the meat counter, misleading labeling shouldn't steer them in the wrong direction. And Nebraska Senator Deb Fischer says the time is now to help clarify labeling, reduce confusion, and to be prepared as new products come into the marketplace as protein alternatives.
The Real Meat Act that we've introduced, it requires labeling. It requires that it's labeled as imitation meat. And even the size of the word imitation needs to be the same size as meat. so people can see it when they're going through the meat case.
She says that the bill paves the way for labeling of lab-based meats to provide the greatest amount of clarity and consumer confidence in the real proteins consumers expect from cattle and hog producers.
And I think it goes back to looking at possible threats in the future. You know, if we don't stop this now or try to get some control over the labeling of it now, it'll be harder. It'll be much harder, I think, in the future. If we don't explain this to the shopper in the grocery store now on the nutritional values, just a comparison on what real great tasting beef, what's in there, it's real meat, and the value for the nutritional value, that is just huge.
And the bill is supported by livestock organizations like the NCBA and the U.S. Cattlemen's Association, as well as a lot of other state livestock groups across our entire region. Stay with us. We'll have more ag news right after this.
More farmers and ranchers than ever have chosen to be BQA certified.
Well, the National Corn Growers and 16 state affiliated associations have joined more than 140 allied national, regional, and state commodity organizations in opposing changes to USDA disaster relief. Now, the groups recently sent a letter to Agriculture Secretary Tom Vilsack relaying their concerns with the design of the Emergency Relief Program for 2022, even though they're very appreciative for the allocation of over $3.7 billion in much-needed ERP assistance. They did express serious concerns with some changes. The biggest change? A progressive factor that reduces the disaster assistance for many eligible growers based on the size of that loss. And finally today, this week, as we give thanks, approximately 79% of Americans are in fact gearing up for a Thanksgiving Day meal on Thursday. And Purdue University's Consumer Food Insight says that among the crowd, 37% plan to host the meal, 43% have chosen to attend, and the rest plan to dine out during this week's holiday. And turkey prices are 10 to 15% lower than a year ago, so that in itself is some very good news and something to be very thankful for. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I'm Russell Nemeth.